We're gonna get in a DB stance, okay? We'll get down and we're just gonna work on foot speed, and we're gonna see basically how many times he can get his foot in and out of this hex within 15 seconds, okay? We'll start on 3, 2, 1, let's go. DB stance, and we're just gonna go in, out, okay? Again, just wanna see how fast he can do this. Since we just did 15, we'll do 10 seconds. So how many steps he can go in and out with the Perform Better bands on, okay? 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Going to work with one hex. All we're going to do is work on getting the plant foot into a T-step position and then driving out of the hex. Whenever you step in the hex, you want that foot to be slightly turned outward, and then you want to make sure you get a good push off of that foot in the direction that you want to go. All right. Another big thing is to make sure that you drop your hips. That way you can produce enough force into the ground to push and get away. All right. So the progression to that drill is just to start behind the hex. We'll go 2 feet in, 2 feet out, T-step with a good drive. So here we'll get a couple reps in with the right and with the left. As you notice, his feet never stops. He gets a good push off of his plant foot, and everything is going in the direction that he wants to go. So on this next one, same action. So once you've mastered the one hex, then the next thing to do is just to go ahead and add in multiple hexes. All right, that way we can get more repetition. Especially with things like this, everything is about repetition, just training the body to do the right things, and just getting into the best possible position, especially for DBs to go ahead and make a play on the receiver or the ball. All right. So this next one, we're just gonna go through all 3 hexes, 2 feet in, 2 feet out. You have good body positioning, all right, throughout the entire drill. Don't be high, stay low. Through this first hex, all we have, nice and simple, we have 2 feet, got a 2-piece lateral movement. We'll get 2 feet outside the hex, and then the back hexes are just there for us to work on our T-step, all right? On that T-step, we want to make sure that we're getting all the cleats into the ground, right? Make sure we're dropping our hips. That way we can get enough force to be able to push off of the ground and go and cut off whatever route we need to cut off, all right? So going through that first hex, just working on foot speed, everything, we need to have good control, 2 feet in, 2 feet out, working into a T-step, all right? So this is what that drill looks like in full action. Notice all his cleats are getting into the ground. Hips are staying.
In the first hex, flip our hips, 2-piece across, okay, moving laterally. Then when we come out, we're gonna get in a T-step, all right? Especially for the schools at T-step. If you want practice at T-step, and this is great, all right? Making sure that foot lands exactly where you want it. Push. Ha! 2-piece through hips, open, 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 drive, good. We're gonna break step, flip the hips, 2-piece in, sweep feet, break step, and pushing off right into a nice, smooth back pedal. Okay? Again, we'll do 2 break steps, flip the hips, 2-piece, all the way around, brake step into a back pedal, and this is what it looks like full speed. Nice. We're just gonna do a jab at every hex, okay? But once we get to that middle hex, we're gonna jab, flip our hips, just like DBs and linebackers gotta do. Come back across, two piece. Continue to jab in a reverse manner, okay? Retreating into a back pedal. I'll give it to him hot. Good, flip. Then nice little retreat. Make it smooth. Okay, so here we're gonna move across the hex laterally. All right, and we're gonna get into a nice little smooth little back pedal. Here, I want you to either foot fire or T-step. Whatever you guys do in your program, that's what you need to do. Shut it down, move across lateral again. Here, we're gonna open up like we're in man coverage. Coming to you hot. Nice. Get in and out of that break. Shut it down. Two piece across, man. Bump. Good. For defensive backs. Two piece in the hex, lateral movement. Stick to open up the hips. Boom. Yep. And then we'll move into a running phase of the movement. And basically what this is if you have to stay square, okay, we want you to stay square as long as you can. Okay, and then if you have to open up, this teaches you to stay square, have good foot speed, and then boom, open up the hips. Okay. So that's kind of like the first phase of this thing, is to just do one movement across, and then we also have one where you can do a two-piece in, where it's moving a lateral movement across, touch with one foot out, get back, open up on the other side. Okay. So it just makes the movement a little bit more complicated, a little bit more footwork, but the same idea as far as staying square and opening up the hips. Especially if the receiver's giving you a move on the line and he goes left, then he comes back right, then you have to open up the hips. Right. Okay. So let's do the first one, full speed real quick. Good. And here's the second one with the two-piece across, one foot out, then bring it back, kind of like a little typewriter jump. Bam, 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 bam. Good. Here, we're gonna work on flipping in the hips. So he'll have an explosive crossover step. Bam, bam, open up the hips, okay? And then we'll do one also where we'll cross over and bring it back. Then cross over back again, and then open up. First one, full speed. It's good. And now this is the second one. Again, just make it a little bit more complicated, and then you're actually doing two crossover steps. You got a little in and out, move up, in and out, flip the hips for a nice break step. Flip, lateral movement with another jab, then we move right across and open our hips, all right, on a nice little neutral run, okay? Hey, have some fun with it. Practice it, go through it slow, then speed your footwork up, all right? Work on being able to push off and flip your hips. Have fun with it. Footwork Friday coming to you live. Good. Now,
inside leverage, receivers trying to work, and pressure foot gets out the hex. We're opening up, turning the hips. Good body control, hands on the hips, good eyes. We're going to perform a 180 turn, dropping our hips into the hex. Out the hex, we're going to attack the third hex with good body control, pretty much doing the same thing that we did in the first hex, but this time we're just sprinting up out of there, making sure that we have good eyes on the receiver, hands on the receiver. All right, so that first hex, we're just working to keep our leverage 2 feet across, opening up those hips, attacking the hex as if a receiver tried to cut underneath you. We're just trying to quickly turn and recover and cut off their route. And then on that second hex, we're pretty much doing the same thing, working to keep our leverage opening up, but this time we'll run it through as if they were just to run a fade on us. All right. So this is what that drill looks like in live action. Drop the hips. Good eyes, good hands. We're gonna do a 2-piece lateral through the hex. That first step out of the hex, let it be a turn step in the direction you want to go. And then you're just going to push and attack the next hex to the inside. From there, we're doing the exact same thing. 2 feet in, 1 foot out with the turn step. Good explosion to the next hex. And then we're just repeating that each one. All right. We have to be able to change. Let's see this thing in full action, baby. Yes, sir. 2 quick steps with a turn step. No hesitation getting into that break. Bam, bam, bam. Yes, sir.
Next, we'll do a 2-piece across. Come back. Step back, 2-piece across again. As he comes out, this time he's going to plant to T-step, drive, and drop the hips into a drive phase. Okay? So you guys know when you play defense, you have to be able to retreat with comfort, get in and out of your break smooth, change directions because the offense is controlling the tempo. So the defense needs to be able to react, okay, and react violently in order to catch up or make a play on the ball. All right. So that's your walkthrough for the second time. So here's that thing live. Drop, drive. Over here on this cone, you just create a small little box. We just had a hex there, you know, for foot placement, but hey, if you don't have a hex and you got a cone or a line, the line will work, okay? We'll start here in a light defensive back position, okay? We're gonna go with our crossover step here first. Crossover, left, right foot in the hex, all right? Then we're gonna open up and run here. Drop your hips, drive to this cone, drop, and then you're driving back as if you're in man here. Next out, we're going to do a 2-piece across and work on retreating, staying square, into a drop. So now we're opening up, running with that offensive player, dropping the hips as they get on top and then folding right underneath, all right? So this is like, let's say a receiver, running back, whatever they are, they're coming off the line of scrimmage. You're retreating, staying square, then you open up your hips, you're running with them, then you have to drop the hip at the top of the route and then fall underneath, all right? Make sure you get your head around back to the ball, all right, because we need that pick. Make sure you have good body control, making sure you put your feet where you want to put them, all right? Nice and smooth. Good. Drop the hips, drive right underneath.